For 2 years, the NHL decided to play 84 games in a season instead of 82. During those 2 seasons, 2 trades would take place that made history. The history in question is the single season games played record. During the 1992-93 season, the Detroit Red Wings would trade Jimmy Carson to the LA Kings with 52 games already under his belt. He would go on to play 34 more with the Kings, setting the single season games played record at 86. The very next season, the Ottawa Senators sent Bob Gudelsky to Florida with 42 games played. He would play 44 more games with the Panthers and tie the record at 86. Jimmy and Bob are the only 2 players in NHL history to ever play more than 85 games in a season. They did do it in a season where 84 games was the standard, so what about in a season with 82? Bill Guerin and Rem Murray each snuck in 3 extra games after being traded to total 85. They are the only 2 players who have played more than 84 games in an 82-game season. With the bat soup super cough calming down, we do have a question to answer. Can a trade be made to break the 86-game record? The short answer is yes. The long answer is there's more than 350 different trade combinations to make it happen. How do I know this? Well, I made a giant spreadsheet and counted them myself. I've assumed that the trade deadline will happen either on March 3rd or 2nd, as that's what it was during previous Olympic seasons, and I'm also hoping that the Batcave zombie fungus doesn't really mess with the season too hard this year. Now, obviously I've done all this myself, so it's possible that I've missed a few trade possibilities or even got some of the current ones wrong. If you do notice any mistakes I've made, be sure to insult me in the comments section below. Let's discuss what I do have done though. There are more than 150 trades that could possibly be made to get a player to 87 games played at the end of the season. They're not so interesting, so I'll show you all those later. What is interesting is 88 games. I found around 30 plus trade opportunities to make that happen. Here's a few examples. On December 12th, Anaheim can trade a player who has 30 games played to Boston. Assuming this player joins Boston on the 14th and plays their 25th game and every other remaining game in the season, they'll end the season with 88 games played. A December trade is kind of a rare thing though, but the advantage here lies in the fact that there's a full day between games for travel and trade negotiations to happen. Closer to the expected trade deadline, the Vancouver Canucks can send a player with 56 games played to Minnesota on February 28th. There's no day in between the games, so they'd have to finish game 56 with the Canucks in New Jersey, and then they'd have to get to Minnesota the next day to play versus Calgary at 8 o'clock. If the player does do that and plays the last 32 games with Minnesota, the record will be 88. Another opportunity involving 4 teams is on January the 20th. If Nashville or Montreal send a player with 48 games played to the Islanders or the Wild, and they join either team the next day, the record could be 88. Now, all these are pretty interesting, and I could go on listing chances for 88, but it gets better. On February 1st, Montreal can send a player with 54 games played to Minnesota. That player just needs to fly to Chicago and play with the Wild on the 2nd, and he has the potential to smash the record at an unheard of 89 games played in one season. It's pretty funny that Bill Guerin has the current record for an 82-game season, and he probably has the best chance to make a trade with a few different teams to break that record. Hopefully he and Bergevin can work something out, because 89 games in one season would just be unbeatable. So as far as the video goes, the main information and the main topic is kind of covered. I'll be listing out the chances for every single team to break the record, so if you feel like seeing all 350 plus chances, you can stick around. Or if you're not autistic enough for that, you can find the timestamps in the description and find the chances for your team. Thanks for watching.